Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Welcome to the Miracle Flight Deck, a Miracle Flights podcast.
Welcome back to the Miracle Flight Deck. I say welcome back if you are a returning listener, and if you are brand new, thank you so much for joining us, and don't forget to subscribe. I am Nicole Padrick Monkdale, your multimedia producer, and I am joined by
Robert Sanchez, Vice President of Operations at Miracle Flights. I'm brand new, by the way, to this
to the podcast. Yes. Well, not really, because
hosting duties.
Okay, yes, hosting duties.
But thrilled to be here. Excited. We have a very special guest with us today.
We do. I'm very excited. I cannot wait to pick his brain.
Yeah, Curtis Edenfield.
Curtis Edenfield from
CEO
Thrive Aviation.
Of
CEO.
Thrive Aviation.
Yeah.
Curtis and I go way back to the early days of this partnership. I can tell you that Thrive has been instrumental to what we do from a fundraising standpoint and an awareness standpoint.
Oh, yeah.
So wonderful partner. Excited to have him here. Talk all the things.
It's going to be great, and I can't wait to listen to the two of you talk about the partnership, because I'm going to learn a lot too.
It'll be fun.
So Curtis Edenfield is also CEO of Thrive Aviation. He is the 2026 Individual Navigator Honoree for our 2026 SOARée.
Can you believe it? Right, 2026 is in front of us, and it'll be our fourth SOARée, and we get the opportunity to celebrate an incredible human being from Curtis, being Curtis, and Thrive Aviation, and what they mean to this organization.
That's right, and we'll talk a little bit more about what SOARée is when we talk to Curtis. I'm so excited. I know Robert's excited too, to welcome Curtis Edenfield, CEO of Thrive Aviation, and also our 2026 Individual Navigator Honoree for SOARée. Welcome to the Miracle Flight Deck, Curtis.
Of course, it's an honor.
Thank you for joining us. I think you walked across the street. Office is literally like across the street.
Literally a baseball throw.
It's a baseball throw. There you go. This is exciting. Thank you for obviously being here. You and I kind of go back a little bit.
Way back.
I kind of think about, and we'll get into it a little bit, but what Thrive was.
Sure.
And the exponential growth, which is, I could not be happier for you and for the team and for the family you guys have over there. But we'll get into all that stuff. I guess would love to kind of hear about how you started in like your passion for aviation. Have you always been passionate about it? Were you pilot? Like what did that look like?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, just love the partnership with Miracle Flights. It's been incredible since the early days when we first met and threw around some wild ideas, and here we are raising a bunch of money, throwing an incredible party and changing lives. So that's what it's all about. So yeah, aviation is definitely in my blood. My dad was a pilot. My mom was a flight attendant. So grew up around aviation. My brother and I both went to college in Dallas. And so I always say that I went the corporate side of aviation, and I went to go work at Southwest Airlines. My brother went the flying side of aviation and got his pilot's license.
Oh my gosh, there's so many like players here. So SMU, right?
SMU, yeah.
SMU, Pony Up. There you go.
Yeah, that's right.
Are you from Dallas originally?
No, so originally from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Right.
So New Mexico.
And then Southwest. So we love Southwest.
Southwest is great.
Huge partner of ours. And so is that kind of where you cut your teeth early in your career?
Yeah, so that's where I learned a lot.
What did you do there?
I started in revenue management, which is basically like the pricing on the seats, right? So I always say the person in front of you, behind you, left and right, all paid a different price for the seat, right? So that's revenue management. Las Vegas, a lot of revenue management in Las Vegas, given the hotels, right? So same type of concept.
Definitely.
Great. Southwest is a great company. I learned a ton. I'm still friends with a lot of people there.
And that culture too.
Yeah, the culture's great, right?
Yeah. Like everyone tries to replicate it.
For sure,
right?
for sure.
It's
yeah.
tough.
So I saw the value of having a really strong culture at Southwest. At the time they had about 50 to 60,000 employees, and just having a set of core values that you can hire and train on, and kind of they're bumper rails for your company, right?
Yeah.
And I always say we never want to be Southwest, because you can't be Southwest, but there's a lot of stuff that we want to be like Southwest, and the values and the company and all of that.
And I can say, like, speaking to your team, you can see it, right? Like these are things that you've done and incorporated a culture at your your own company.
Yeah.
And it's clearly paying dividends and working in a tremendous way.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride since moving out here. But so kind of how the company started. Like I said, my brother went to flight school, became a flight instructor. He met one of our partners back in 2012 and taught him how to fly. So he has a core business and was expanding that business across the United States, and was flying around to different places that he was opening, as well as he was learning how to fly himself.
And he was always doing the private side, right? Or was it?
He had some airplanes that he was learning to fly himself, and then flying to where his company was expanding. And my brother was his flight instructor. So none of this, we wouldn't be here today. None of this would happen had my brother not met him and been his flight instructor.
Right place, right time.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, seriously,
that's how it always is. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's so cool to hear that your mom and dad were in the aviation industry.
Absolutely.
We do have something in common. My mother-in-law, she was a stewardess and I can't say stewardess because she absolutely didn't want to be called a flight attendant for Pan Am.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah. But that's a tangent. We're talking about you. And I do want to ask you, what is like some of your favorite aviation movies or stories?
I mean, it's going to be very cliche, but you can't go wrong with Top Gun.
Yeah.
I remember.
Did you like the latest one?
I did.
Me too.
How good was that movie?
Oh man,
it was on the other
so
day, and I
good.
was like, I couldn't stop watching.
Yep,
I was up till 11. I'm usually in bed by 9.
I don't know how many times I've rewatched it now.
It's so good. They did a great job.
What do you think they got right about it?
It had the right mix of, it was nostalgic, bringing back the first one, right? Everybody loves that.
Yes.
It had a great storyline. That, I mean, honestly, it wasn't your typical movie sequel that you see. They did a really, really good job. It stands, I would say that movie can definitely stand on its own.
100%.
Independently.
I agree.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's also Tom Cruise. He's the biggest movie star on the planet.
Yeah.
I mean,
and jets.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Doesn't get any cooler than that.
Exactly.
Doesn't get any cooler than that. How does one? Okay, so for those of you who don't know, right? Curtis is the CEO of Thrive Aviation, private jet company. How does one start a private jet company? Like, is that? Did you wake up? You're like, dude, I got an idea. Like, here's what's gonna happen.
It's a
like,
big idea.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Like, how do you even go about doing that?
That's a great question. Probably would love to dive in on another podcast.
That's
for
sure.
Quite a story.
No.
That'd be quite a story. So, again, long story short, basically from 2012 to 2017, my brother and our other partner had accumulated about 6 airplanes, and they had them on different management companies, like what Thrive currently is.
Okay.
And I'm very close to my brother. We were roommates in college. We're best friends and brothers. I feel very blessed with that.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so I'm talking to him all along these years.
Yeah.
And around 2016, I'm like, man, we should, send me some of the data. Just send me all the information you have. I want to start looking into this, on-demand charter aviation. What does that look like? How is that? It's aviation, but it's a lot different than what's called scheduled service, which is like Southwest, American Airlines. And basically in 2017, around Thanksgiving, Christmas, put together, I know it sounds crazy, but put together 8 PowerPoint slides, like I'll use the term very loosely, but a pitch deck.
Speaking my language, this is so good.
Flew to Las Vegas on a Southwest pass, right? Because I was still employed at
Awesome.
Southwest. Yeah. My wife was on maternity leave. Hunter was like a couple weeks old.
Sure.
And I'm like, hey, this is a great idea. I got this business plan, business model. I want to go talk to Stuart and our other partner about it. And it's a good idea. And I love this stuff, right? Sure. And it wasn't, I had done a lot of research. I'd put time into it, but it didn't take away necessarily from anything. And I've always wanted to run a company. I've always wanted to start a business, and it just was a good idea, right? So you have one of the biggest barriers to entry in starting a private aviation company is, of course, having the airplanes. Exactly. Not everybody can just have the airplanes. Absolutely. The other aspect is having the charter certificate, which I'll get to here in a little bit. But that's the FAA regulatory side of things.
Gotcha.
So you need the airplanes, the assets, and you need the regulatory side. So we had the airplanes and the assets. So flew to Vegas. Met at the Starbucks in Terminal 3. If you go up the escalators,
I love this so much.
There's a Starbucks.
I can see it. I can see him walking in with this little
exactly.
Right.
Yeah. I tell my wife I'll have an hour meeting. I'll be back. Yeah. There's like an 11:30
flight
a.m.
going back.
Flight back to same day round.
You want to leave the airport?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even leave the airport. 1 hour meeting turned into a 4-hour meeting. Kind of went through the whole premise of it.
Awesome.
We flipped over the PowerPoint slide, started writing some numbers numbers because I was going off of Google, just trying to estimate some of the various things. And basically, we all agreed it was a good idea, and there's value in doing this. Our partner was very, very involved in his other business, so didn't necessarily set out to start another company. But I'm like, that's exactly why I'm here, and my brother's here.
Right.
And
Day
really, day to day,
Day to day,
So at the end of it, I don't think it takes, not a knock on any sort of MBA, but I don't think it takes like a Harvard MBA to understand this. My rationale with any business is you have to get the work, you have to do the work, and you got to figure out how to get paid, right?
There you go.
And so ABC. And basically, I'm like, I will do A, hell or high water. I will figure out how to market this. How hard could it be to sell private jets out of Vegas? Ended up being a little bit harder than I thought.
Sure.
And then B, Stuart, bless his little heart, he's gonna fly these things. He's gonna do the work. He's gonna He's gonna operate it. And then if I can sell and he can fly, we'll figure out how to get paid. I'll go up. I'll go to
amazing.
I'll go to the plane with the Square app on my iPhone.
That's right.
That's I'll figure out if we can sell and fly. How hard could it be to
I love like the entrepreneurial spirit, right?
Sure.
I've started a couple companies and I love everything you're saying, man. It's passion, it's grit, it's relentless, it's failure,
it's inspirational,
it's mistakes, right? We could probably spend an hour talking about everything that's gone wrong. And we won't do that today. But at the end of the day, it's inspiring. So thank you, and congratulations, man. I mean, it's such a cool thing.
Yeah, it's been. I tell people it's been the hardest thing I've ever done, but it's been certainly one of the most rewarding.
And I have to say too, we have large networks in this town. Everybody knows Curtis, I would say, especially like our networks.
I believe it.
And SOARée, and we'll talk about that in a second. But you've raised the profile of this organization. You've also made me look kind of cool. So I'll be at like a function of like, hey, you know Curtis, right? Yeah, like, do they like have any flights like that they, like, can we hop on one? Like, it'd be such a cool thing. I'm like, yeah, sure, let me call them up and ask for a free plane, right? So anyways, the partnership, clearly it's working. And I think we're both raising each other's profiles and we're so happy.
Well, the SOARée wouldn't happen without you. This partnership wouldn't have happened without you. It goes back to our original meetings and conversations. I think you actually had the vision of this partnership before I even had that vision, and you kind of like pulled me along with it, and here we are. So again, none of this would be happening without you. So kudos to you.
Thanks.
For sure.
I've got a really good question, and that leads me to this question. What you're saying right now is, of all the charities that you could have chosen to work with, what was it about Miracle Flights that brought you, Thrive Aviation, and Miracle Flights together? That's
a really, really good question, and a lot of layers to that. So we got, as the profile of Thrive got bigger, we definitely got hit up by different organizations. And we were kind of like putting our toe and attaching with a few organizations here and there. Nothing wrong with any of these organizations, but I was talking to our leadership team and some of our partners. I'm like, we really need to like find an organization that we can like latch onto and both collectively build something together in a partnership together. Obviously, the aviation runs deep, right? I do remember Miracle Flights at Southwest. There's a whole conference room and a whole area designated to Miracle Flights. So it was a full circle, pinch me moment here. Yeah, exactly.
Saw it, right?
Yeah, for sure. And then being local was really, really big. And then obviously helping kids. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. And really, I was and still am extremely busy building Thrive, but with Robert sitting down, we met at our first office in Henderson Executive that was no bigger than this room.
That's right. I remember.
And I remember interviewing people in there before we had the name Thrive, and I'm trying to convince them to join the company.
Gotcha.
That we're going to do this, we're going to be this stuff. And it was very refreshing having you there saying, okay, I see this little office and a couple of airplanes, but think of what we could do with all this stuff. Right. And it started, if you remember, of a plane pole.
Yeah, I do remember this.
You wanted to do a plane pole.
I had this wild idea to get like teams.
What
like
are we talking about here? A plane pole?
Like you can get teams to register and you fundraise and it's like a competition.
Cool.
Who can pull an actual airplane the fastest?
Oh my gosh, I like it.
and Curtis is like, that's an idea.
Right? I remember thinking like, man, I throw out some crazy ideas. Here we go. I'm like, this guy's just as crazy as I am.
Yeah.
Like,
I looked at his eyes. Like, I don't know, man. Like, we'll think about it.
But
right?
I like it.
But it was.
Are we talking about a Cessna? Or are we talking about a 737?
Well, I wanted a Southwest plane, but we were going to pull his planes along too.
Yeah.
But I just sat across and we started talking about the future, right?
Yeah.
And again, plane pool hasn't come to fruition yet.
Yet.
But it was kind of cool to talk about what could be, right?
Yeah.
And I saw it. I mean, you see this leadership, you see the passion, you see the ambition, you see the relentless, the grit, all those things. And I was like, we can do something. We have to do something.
Yeah.
And Curtis, you have a line, and I've heard you say it time and time again. If you're blessed, be a blessing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that resonated with me. So talk about what that line means to you, and how Miracle Flights and this partnership has helped sort of make that a thing for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I always would say throughout life, you need to find your angels that help lift you up, and whether that's a coach, a mentor, a colleague, whatever it is, right? And that ties into if you're blessed, be a blessing. So I do. This city has been great to us. The organizations and different people and companies in the city have been great to us, and I feel very blessed that we as a company are blessed, and we've been able to build something pretty incredible in this city. And so a big mantra is to give back, and that goes ties in with the partnership that we have. So we wanted to give back to the city and an organization in a big way as Thrive grew. And we just really wanted to partner with you guys. It really is a perfect partnership, just given the hangar, the aviation ties, the suitcase party.
It's the coolest thing.
It is the coolest party out there.
For those that don't know, right? So SOARée is Miracle Flight's largest fundraiser. We hold it every spring. Thrive Aviation, Curtis and the team are so gracious to host us in this beautiful hangar. How many square feet is it?
21,000.
There you go.
It's
right off the top of his head.
huge.
See, he knows. That's my guy.
We'll put some clips of
we'll put some pictures, some
up.
clips, all that stuff. But it's beautiful. And it's essentially like a 400-person cocktail party, right?
And there's a theme every year.
And there's a specific theme every year, and it's the who's who in Vegas. You get to invite your network. We get to invite our wonderful, beautiful donors that are so generous and sponsors. And we get to celebrate this mission and this partnership, and working together to help families.
You're also leaving out one thing.
But there's a catch, right? So every attendee, right, receives a raffle ticket, and at the end of the night, we pull 3 couples, and they are now they get chosen to board a private jet donated by Thrive Aviation. And they get to go to this all expenses paid weekend, basically.
That's amazing. And the other amazing thing about SOARée that I really, really love, because I love planes and I love aviation, is you open up the private jets and you can take a tour on the jets. That is
it's such a unique thing.
So cool.
So Thrive's hangar overlooks the Las Vegas Boulevard at night.
Perfect.
It's beautiful. The weather's always nice. These jets are out there, and it's just a wonderful thing. So we're excited about 2026. We're excited to honor you, right? And what you've done for this organization and what Thrive's done for this organization. What are you most excited about being this honoree for 2026?
That's a great question. I'm excited to every year the event gets bigger and better.
Side note, real quick, $1.1 million we've raised so far.
Really? Absolutely.
Man,
I just got goosebumps.
We did the math. It's 3 years, $1.1 million, which is going right to our families, every penny of it, and helping families access medical care.
Well, let's raise $1 million this year. And
I like it. Right?
I
You heard
love
it here. I that's a quote.
Yes. Exactly.
No, but like you're excited to obviously raise more money, right? Keep this thing growing,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. So I'm again the party we fine tune it. So there is no other charity event I've ever been to that is like this. It's so unique. It's in a hangar. You're overlooking the strip. You have you can see the Sphere. We have the airplanes outside of the hangar. We have exotic cars. There's raffling off puppies. I mean, it is the most, it is awesome. It is so cool. And then again, at the end of the night, we fire up a jet and fly 6 people to an exotic location.
And you said it's all for the kids, right?
It's all for the kids,
It's all for the kids, all for the
So
families.
it's just so unique and special. So I'm there are complexities to host an event like that on airport property
Yep.
in a hangar. It's not like it's not a normal
Some
convention
of the
hall.
calls that we have to have, right?
Yes.
Kathy on our team, who's our
Right.
event,
Yes.
team member, like some of the conversations that have to happen. Thank you.
I don't
right?
think people realize that everything at that party has to get brought in, from the forks to the stemware, obviously the tables and the chairs, but the extension cords for the AV and the audio, the duct tape that go, I mean, right? It's
the
just
little things. It is.
it's the little
You're
things,
right.
and
The
it
other
just takes a
thing-
lot to put it on.
It is. You're right.
The other thing about that too is how quickly it needs to set up and how quickly it needs to tear down.
Well, because he's got business.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's literally planes that are coming
I
and
think
going.
last year we had a departure at like 6 a.m. the
That's
next
right.
morning.
I think we finished up at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And,
1
when
a.m.,
we
2
say
a.m.
we finished up, we tear it
Of
down.
course. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a team effort.
It really is.
Yeah.
It is. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of fun. It's our biggest event. We couldn't do without you, without Thrive, without your amazing team over there. Shout out to them.
They're great.
They're incredible.
They're incredible.
And we're just so grateful.
Yeah.
We're so incredibly grateful. We're excited.
Very excited.
What's the theme?
Palms and Plains, because we're going to Palm Springs.
Palm
That's
Springs
the
this year.
destination
Palm
for
Springs this
2026.
year. There you go.
This past year was Sonoma, wine country.
right.
Previous year was Beverly Hills, I believe.
Yes.
And
And I
Newport.
wasn't here for the first one.
Yeah.
The first one.
I think the first one was like Newport.
Yeah.
Like, so, anyways, it's growing bigger. We're grateful. Thank you again.
We're excited.
And we can't wait for 2026.
It's going to be exciting.
Right.
Very
It's
exciting.
Let's get it out there. What's the date?
Yeah.
March 27th. I know that very well because it's a couple of days after my birthday.
There you go.
March
There you go.
27th, 2026 next year. So
We
at
will
Thrive
link it.
Aviation.
We'll link it and we
Put it on the
enjoy this.
calendar.
Absolutely.
It's going to be absolutely
Save
incredible.
the date. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Curtis.
Thank you guys.
That was a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
Thank you.
Thanks.
For
Take
sure.
care.
That was wonderful talking to Curtis from Thrive Aviation, CEO of Thrive Aviation, Curtis Edenfield, and also the 2026 individual Navigator Honoree for our upcoming SOARée.
He's a cool guy. I
Really is.
learn something new every time I talk to him.
Yeah, and he's a Top Gun fan.
Top Gun, great movie.
I know.
Maverick, come on.
I know. I think there's going to be a third one, but I digress.
Let's
That's a tangent.
Cross our fingers, but no, he's amazing. I think for those of us that ever have had the thought of starting your own business, right? It's a cool conversation
It's
to
so
have.
inspirational.
Such a cool thing to learn about. And you can tell. I always love his line. If you're blessed, be a blessing, right? You can just kind of tell. He feels it. He gets it. He understands what this partnership is about and how it's helping families. $1.1 million raised so far.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It is. Robert, tell our listeners if they need to request a flight or if they want to volunteer or donate, how would they do that?
Absolutely. Our website, it's a miracleflights.org. It is a wealth of information. So if you are a family or a family out there that needs help accessing medical care far from home, please visit our website. You can submit your application online. Those flights aren't possible without the support of generous donors. So if you'd like to go online and donate as well, you can do that on our website. But you could also help by volunteering. We have volunteer opportunities right on our website.
SOARée is a great place to volunteer.
It is. It is. Yeah. So please, we couldn't do this alone. We definitely need the support. Definitely need the help.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for joining us again on the Miracle Flight Deck, a Miracle Flights podcast. And one other thing, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends. You never know who out there might need a miracle flight.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining me, Robert.
Absolutely. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
We know you have many choices when listening to a podcast, and we thank you for choosing the Miracle Flight Deck.